Hello and welcome to another episode of Kiss and Tell. I'm your host, the Lyonman. And before we get started on today's podcast, I want to give a shout out to all our new listeners across the world. We are on 5 continents. We have fans in France, Germany, Manila, New Zealand, India, about 14 states in America. So we appreciate each and every one of you. If you could tell your friends and family about this to help this podcast grow even more, we'd appreciate it. We're only going to get better the more we do. And we've said this before, this podcast is called Kiss and Tell, but we don't just talk about Kiss. We talk about everything, all types of music. And today's an example of it, because today we're going to do the greatest 1980s hair metal bands of all time. So we're going to have them in an NCAA tournament bracket setting, and we're going to eliminate and go down until we get the number 1 hair metal band of all time. So we have our co-host tonight is none other than Tommy Barnes, a.k.a. Taterbook from Jackson, Tennessee. Tommy, say hello to the fans out there.
Hey, glad to be here, guys. Glad to be here.
Tommy was obviously on an episode earlier in which we did the top 5 Kiss albums, and he's back tonight to help us with these hair metal bands, because me and Tommy, we just didn't read about it. We just didn't watch the videos on YouTube. We lived it. We breathed it. We sweated it. I had long hair down to my back. Tommy Barnes looked like the lead singer for Firehouse.
He lying.
So
cross between him and one of the Partridge family.
Oh yeah, Danny Partridge.
Hey, but I was cool and couldn't nobody tell me no different.
They still can't. And we had a band that never made it called Area 51.
Yep.
So we are honored to have a special guest today, all the way from Isla de Encanta, Puerto Rico, but now he's living in Florida. He's a new father. He's working from home. He's a good friend of mine. Giancarlos, welcome to Kiss and Tell.
How you guys all doing?
I think they said they're doing good.
Oh, I'm doing good here, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. We're going to do a little game with Giancarlos called Fan or Hater, in which I'm going to name a famous celebrity, and he's got to tell me, is this celebrity a fan of Kiss, or is he a hater of Kiss, or is she a hater of Kiss? So we're going to get the ball rolling tonight. And our first celebrity is none other than the legendary guitarist Dimebag Darrell. Was he a fan of Kiss, or was he a hater, Giancarlos?
I'm going to go with fan on that one.
Yes, that's true. Dimebag was a huge Kiss fan, in particular Ace Frehley, which he had tattoos of Ace on his body. I believe Ace might have even spoke at his funeral. He said in a number of interviews that the reason he first played guitar was Ace Frehley. And our next celebrity is Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith. Was he a fan of Kiss, or was he a hater?
Okay, so these two bands toured together back in the day. I'm going to go with fan as well.
Okay. He was actually a hater. Him and Paul had a War of Words not too long ago, in which he was referring to Kiss as a gimmicky band with makeup and no talent, and then Paul went back at him, and he got pretty ugly, and then it kind of just dissipated. But yeah, Steven Tyler is not a fan of the band Kiss. So
okay.
Now you are 1-1. Tommy, if you got anything to say, just chime on in, brother.
All right.
So our next celebrity is none other than one of the greatest guitarists who've ever lived, Carlos Santana. Is he a fan of Kiss, or is he a hater of Kiss?
Okay, so Carlos Santana played in Woodstock. I believe he's in a feud with Gene Simmons. So I'm going to say hater.
You got that right. He is a hater. Him and Gene did have a feud a few years back in which, he said Gene was not a musician, and Gene went back at him. So, yeah, you definitely got that right. So you got 2 right and 1 wrong.
Good.
Our next celebrity is the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello. Is he a fan of the band or a hater?
Okay, love Rage Against the Machine. I'm going to go with fan.
Yes, he is a fan. He gave the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction speech, and he did an amazing job. One of the best induction speeches you'll ever hear. And he was definitely, and still is definitely, a big Kiss fan.
All right.
So you are 3 and 1. 3 right, 1 wrong. So our next,
not bad.
No, it's really good. Our next celebrity is none other than Elton John. Was Elton John a fan of the band Kiss, or is he a hater of Kiss?
Elton John. Okay. I'm going to say hater on that one.
Okay. And that is incorrect.
Oh,
Elton John, in a couple of interviews, has always praised Kiss. And he said that he saw them in concert one time, and it was the most exciting thing he ever has seen up to that point in his life. So now you have 3 right and 2 wrong, and we're on to our last celebrity. So the last celebrity is the lead singer for the legendary punk rock band, the Sex Pistols, Johnny Rotten. Was he a fan of Kiss, or was he a hater?
Oh, God. I actually saw Johnny Rotten in concert here in Orlando. He's always talking shit about everybody, so I'm going to say hater.
And you would be right. He was definitely a hater of Kiss. He's took a couple of shots at them during interviews in the 70s and 80s. So, no, he was not a fan of the band. So, congratulations, Giancarlos. You got 4 right and 2 wrong. Clap it up for him. Hey.
Hey.
So, now we're going to get into what everybody's waiting for. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. We're going to get out the Aquanet, the spandex, and we're going to start praising at the feet of the shredder guitarist of the 1980s. So let's get this competition rolling. Now, for all you out there in podcast land, I gave Tommy and Giancarlos a copy of who was going to be in this tournament, but I did not give them who was going to be going against who. So they know who's in the tournament. They just don't know what the brackets look like, if that makes sense. Because I wanted sincere reactions. And so there are 32 hair metal bands in this bracket, and we're going to go all the way down till we get to the number 1 Aquanet wearing, tight spandex wearing, eyeliner wearing, badass male band of the 80s. So, are you guys ready out there?
Ready.
Sure.
Let's do this.
So our first matchup is Poison versus the Bullet Boys. Now, Tommy, you go first, Giancarlo second, and I'll go last. Poison versus the Bullet Boys.
Yeah, Poison. Poison.
All right. And you got anything you want to add on about Poison? Go ahead. And,
the earlier albums were always kind of like better, but Flesh and Blood didn't really care much for it. But their earlier albums, Open Up and Say Ah, and Look What the Cat Dragged In, they were great. Never really cared much for the Bullet Boys though.
Smell that in ya. No. All right, Giancarlos, what you got, man?
I'm going to go also with Poison on that one. I don't remember many videos from the Bullet Boys back in the day. Poison was always on MTV. I've seen Poison a couple of times already in concert. They are very good. And I got to say, man, I used to slow dance to a couple of Poison songs back in the day.
Do you remember the name? Do you remember their names?
Yes. Yes. It was. Wait a minute. Every road has a storm was one,
Okay.
and the other one. The other,
Get you, baby.
that was a great song. Oh my God, that was a good song.
And
That one as well.
And remember, Paul Stanley's in that video. I won't forget you.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes. They're playing in Texas too.
So you used to slow dance to Every Rose Has Its Thorn. And
Yes, I did.
Is that the other one? Might have been Something to Believe in.
Actually, no. I remember that video, but I didn't slow dance to that song.
Thank God. Hey, girl, you want to slow dance to this song about a dying Vietnam vet?
And how the poor eat from hand to mouth while the rich drink from the golden cup.
There you go, Tommy. There you go, right there. That says it all.
Yes, sir.
So we got 2 votes for Poison. So no matter what I vote, Poison is advancing. But I, too, would also vote for Poison. So that would be a 3-0 sweep by Poison. And my little thing on Poison is I remember when I was in 8th grade, I was on a school bus trip, and we were going to the Pink Palace Museum in Memphis. And my best friend at the time, Mike Watts, we were all sitting on a bus, and he snuck up behind my seat. He goes, "Hey, Lyonman, check out how hot these girls are." And this is a true story. And I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Man, I just bought this album by these all-girl metal band." He said, "Check them out." So I looked at it. He goes, "Ain't they hot?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah." And then some other guys that were sitting close to me, they looked at the album and go, "Oh man, they're freaking hot." And then Mike starts laughing. He goes, "Man, there ain't a girl in that bunch. They're all dudes." So Poison advances to the next round. Our next matchup is none other than Janie Lane and Warrant versus Night Ranger.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Tommy, you go first. This is a tough one right here.
Yes.
Yeah. I loved Warrant, especially the what is it, Dog Eat Dog?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That was a great album. But man, man, I got to go with Night Ranger.
Oh, okay. I like it.
I got to go with Night. I mean, Warren had some great songs, but Night Rangers, I mean, they were just fantastic.
Very, very underrated band.
Yes.
Giancarlos, who you got in this matchup?
This is tough, man, because if this was an NCAA bracket, Night Ranger would be my Cinderella story. I see Night Ranger many times here in Orlando because they play at Epcot once a year. And I like Sentimental Street. I like When You Close Your Eyes. Jack Blades talks about when he was in Damn Yankees.
Yeah.
And Brad Gillis used to play with Ozzy Osbourne. And he always plays Crazy Train. But then again, I never saw Warrant when Jenny Lane was alive. I never got to see him in concert. And I remember liking Down Boys, Big Talk, Sometimes She Cries. I'm going to go with Warrant.
Oh, I thought you were leaning the other way there, John.
I know, man. I know.
All right. So we got 1 vote for Night Ranger and 1 vote for Warrant. And so I'll be the deciding vote. And I am going to vote Night Ranger. So
good choice.
Night Ranger's going to advance in that matchup. So our next matchup, Dokken versus Autograph. And if you don't remember who Autograph is, they had the hit song, "Turn Up the Radio. I Need Some Music." And then I think we all remember Dokken. So Tater, what you got, man?
Oh, there's no contest. Dokken. Autograph had some. They were pretty good, but I mean Dokken. I mean just talent just buries them. So Dokken.
Who's your favorite member of Dokken? Do you remember?
That'd be Don Dokken. Lynch was pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that dude was awesome.
Mr. Scary.
Yeah.
All right, so we got one vote for Dokken. Giancarlos, where are you at?
I'm gonna go also with Dokken and George Lynch. Fun fact: for autographs, they had a video for Loud and Clear. Can you name me 2 artists who made cameos on that video?
I'm gonna say
I don't
Alice.
remember the video.
I don't either. I'm gonna say Alice Cooper and Brett Michaels.
I'm gonna say Boy George and One Direction.
Okay, it's Ozzy Osbourne and Biz Neal.
Oh, okay. I like
I
that.
didn't
I
know
don't
that.
remember the video.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I did not know that. So we got 2 votes for Dokken, so they're advancing no matter what. My vote is also going to be for Dokken because I'm a huge George Lynch fan, and I think Don Dokken was a pretty decent singer, and I really like that album, Under Lock and Key. So we got 3 votes for Dokken, so they'll move on to the next round. Our next matchup is none other than New Jersey's own Bon Jovi versus his solo highness, David Lee Roth.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Tommy, you're up.
That's easy. That's Jovi.
You going Jovi, huh?
I mean, yeah, Jovi. I mean, David Lee Roth's great. I mean, you know, and he's entertaining and everything, but you want to talk about just pure talent? Yeah, Jovi.
All right, so we got 1 for Bon Jovi. What say you, Giancarlos?
If this was Bon Jovi versus Van Halen, of course I would go with Van Halen, but we're going only against David Lee Roth and his solo career. I'm also going to go with Bon Jovi on this one.
And I'm going to make it a clean sweep. I'm also going to go Bon Jovi. So Bon Jovi moves to the next round, 3-0 against David Lee Roth. So our next matchup is Motley Crue versus Mr. Big.
Mr. Big was a good band, though, but, I mean, you got to go with Motley Crue. Yeah, you got to. Mr. Big, they had some really good songs, and they were extremely talented. But I got to go with the Crue.
Okay, Tommy shouted at the devil. What you gonna do, Giancarlos?
I'm going with the Crue as well. I used to have Dr. Feelgood back in the day as a cassette. So yes, I'm going back in the day and going with the Crue.
All right, and it's going to be another clean sweep because I'm also going Motley Crue. Their first 2 albums, Too Fast for Love and Shout Out the Devil, 2 of the better albums of the early 80s. So, yeah, to me, that's an easy pick, man, Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Our next matchup is none other than England's very own Def Leppard versus Lita Ford. This is what you would call a number 1 versus a number 16 seed, right?
Yes.
This is Duke versus Northwest Minnesota State.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Lita, she was a heavy metal B, you know, but definitely Def Leppard, especially their older the early stuff. If you want to put them against some of their later stuff, I'd say they got worse and worse as they went along. Yeah, but Power Mania. Oh yeah, Def Leppard.
And Giancarlos, what say you?
Fun fact: back in 8th grade, I used to make out to "Close My Eyes Forever" by Lita Ford. Brings back good memories, man. But I'm gonna go with Def Leppard. I love Hysteria. You know, Def Leppard all the way.
I thought you were going to say back in 8th grade, I used to make out with one arm and pretend I was a drummer for Def Leppard.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say you were making out to Kiss Me Deadly.
He's like, honey, be still. I'm going to put this arm inside my shirt. I'm only going to use this hand. Oh, I'm gonna burn in hell for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Rick Allen. He's
Hey, if the toy factories can do it, then you should be able to do it too.
Yeah, Giancarlos. I sent Tommy a picture of a pop bobblehead that they made of Rick Allen, and he's only got one arm. And I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that. I don't know. All right, so it's going to be unanimous, and that's going to be an easy win for the lads from England. Now we're going to another good matchup. So get ready. This is going to be tough. This is Great White versus Quiet Riot. This is a tough one.
It is. Whew.
Great White versus Quiet Riot.
Man. Yeah, that is a toughie. I'm gonna throw it blind, and I'm gonna say Great White.
Okay. What about you, Giancarlos?
Okay. When I think of Quiet Riot, I think about the album cover, really cool. And I loved Mental Health, Bang Your Head. I'm actually going to go with Quiet Riot.
All right, so now we got one Quiet Riot, one Great White. For me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Randy Rhoads came from Quiet Riot, so
yes, that's a valid.
I got to go with Quiet Riot there.
That's a valid point. Great White for me was more of a blues hard rock band than hair metal, but they obviously got classified in that. Jack Russell, the lead singer for Great White, was a phenomenal singer. I really loved their style, their groove. They're very Zeppelin-esque. Having said that, Quiet Riot was the first heavy metal band in history to have an album go to #1. Quiet Riot is the band that started the 1980s LA glam metal scene. And after Quiet Riot's album went #1, then all these other bands started getting signed, like, Rat and Crue and all these other bands. So really just upon their influence and what they did for that scene by themselves, I am going to go Quiet Riot. So Quiet Riot will move on to the next round. And our next matchup is arguably the greatest hair metal band in history. Enough's Enough. Chips Enough. Enough's Enough.
Oh, good Lord.
Versus Danger.
Oh, you say that.
Fly high, Michelle.
Yeah.
Get high on a new thing versus.
That's like a 25 seed against a 26 seed. I mean,
Tom, are you trying to say I fixed these matchups?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Oh, bad. Hey, we got to meet old boy from Danger and kind of kick it with him after the Hot in the Shade tour down there in Memphis. So I'm gonna go with Danger.
Oh, damn you! All right, he went Danger. What's that, you, Giancarlos?
Naughty.
Damn it!
I'm also gonna go with Danger. I think back in the day when we were in college, you're the one that introduced me to Enough Snuff.
Yes.
They were like the psychedelic hair metal.
Yeah, that's like the Beatles meet hair metal.
So
exactly.
You pick Danger because you can actually remember one of their songs and you can't Enough's Enough.
I believe so, man. I believe so.
Yeah.
I've been flying the Enough's Enough banner since like 1989, 88.
Yeah, I know. I remember it.
I've been ridiculed by family. I've been ridiculed by friends. I've always loved their music for whatever reason. I just feel like it's hair metal meets the Beatles, and Beatles are my favorite band of all time. So I'm going Enough's Enough, even though it doesn't matter because you chumps chose Danger. Oh, man. All right. So our next Our next matchup, you could say it's heaven versus hell. We got the Demons, Kiss, versus the Flying Bumblebee Angel, Striper.
Oh, good Lord.
And remember, this isn't Kiss as a whole, like their whole entity. It's just their hair metal days in the 80s.
Oh, that's an easy Kiss.
Tommy picked Kiss.
I remember like one song Striper did.
What is it?
I don't even remember the name of it. I just remember the yellow and black stripe on the video of them jumping around. I don't even remember the name of the song.
You know, if Striper was out today, their name would be Murder Hornets.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm serious. I mean, what do you remember the name of that song?
Yeah, I'll sing it for you.
I don't want you to sing it. Just tell me the name of it.
Honestly, I believe.
Oh, that's right. There you go. That's enough.
But it's not enough's enough. All right, Giancarlos, you're up, brother.
Okay, fun fact: Striper is huge in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that is true.
If you gotta ask Lynette. There used to be a radio station called La Mega, and every Sunday night they would play that damn song on Magic Night. Every freaking Sunday, nonstop. But I'm gonna go with Kiss with no makeup.
Damn, that's a brave choice. As a Kiss fan, I'm kind of on the fence about this one. Just so Paul and Gene don't get the big head, I'm gonna vote Striper. So Kiss advances with 2 votes. All right. Write that down. Okay, this next matchup is brutal, and it's none other than Trickster versus Kix, Kix.
Oh, Lord.
So you remember Kix? Blow my fuse. Or
well, I only remember
don't
one
close
song.
Your eyes.
That song, that one, yeah.
I only remember one song from Trickster. And
Tommy, do you remember that Jason Rose looked like the lead singer for Trickster?
Yeah. We told him. We said, "You sound just like him. Get up there and sing." And the dude was so stage fright, he just stood there and looked at you.
That's why Area 51 never made it, because our singer had stage fright.
And we all had to use the same amplifier.
Yep.
It sounds really good. But I'll go with Kix, because I think they had about 2 songs, and I think Trickster had 1.
No, Trickster had like 2 or 3, but go ahead. All right.
I remember 1.
All right. Which one is that, Tommy? Here you go.
Hang on a second.
You remember the video?
We played it for Rhodes like a dozen times over.
Do you remember the video for one of their songs where they were riding on dirt bikes?
Yeah. It's Give It To Me Good.
Right.
That's the name of it, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
All right, go ahead, Giancarlos.
Man, I used to watch a lot of MTV growing up, and Trickster was very popular in a show called Dial MTV. But I'm going to go with Kix, because I like Don't Close Your Eyes.
All right, very good. So I'm going to go with Trickster. So we got 2 votes for Kix, 1 for Trickster, so Kix advances.
Okay.
All right, our next matchup is Firehouse, Tommy's old band, versus the Cinderella wannabes, Britney Fox.
Firehouse. I mean, they had I want to say they probably had about 3 or 4 good songs that I remember. They had like one of the songs that the girls just absolutely loved back in the 80s. And girls like it. You gotta like it. I don't remember the name of it. I remember it was a slow song. What did man? I'm lost.
I think it was Love of a Lifetime.
Yeah.
There you go, man. I couldn't think of the name of it. Yeah.
And what say you, Giancarlos?
Okay, this is tough because I'm not really a big fan of Firehouse. And back in the day, my mom would go to Walgreens, and I would be going to the magazine section, and I would be looking at Hit Parade or Metal Edge.
Yeah.
And one day I saw Britney Fox. I go, these are some ugly chicks in this damn band, you know. So I'm going to go with Firehouse on that one.
All right. So you went Firehouse. Bug went Firehouse, and I'm going to go Firehouse for the clean sweep. So Firehouse advances to that round. So our next matchup. Oh, this is going to be a pretty good one. Rat versus Slaughter.
Oh.
Round and round versus Up All Night.
Yeah. Slaughter had some really good songs, and they had probably one of the best doggone drummers in that era. What was his name? Blas Elias. That guy was incredible. Yeah, I got to go Rat.
What about you, Giancarlos?
Slaughter has some good songs like Real Love and Spend My Life. But I'm going to go with Rat as well. They have some good songs, and I saw them in concert. They were not that great, but, I got to go with Rat.
And I'm going to make it a clean sweep. I'm going with Stephen Pearcy and Rat. So Rat advances to the next round. Our next matchup is Europe versus White Lion.
Whoa.
Tough matchup.
White Lion. Yeah, they took some songs and they did some amazing things with them. Wait was a great song. When Children's Cry was a great song. But when they redid Radar Love, and I know there's a bunch of people in the 60s going to tell me that's sacrilege saying that, White Lion did it better than Golden Earring, but I think they did, especially the guitar work in that song. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go White Lion.
Tater goes White Lion. What say you, Giancarlos?
In 4th grade, I was gifted the Final Countdown cassette. I got to go with Europe, man. I love Superstitious, Carrie.
Carrie.
Cherokee,
Yeah, don't forget Cherokee.
Yes.
Marching on the trail of tears.
Gotta go with Sweden on that one. Sweden.
So both bands have great guitarists. Vito Bratta for White Lion and John Norm from Europe were 2 exceptional guitarists. So we got a Europe vote and we got a White Lion vote, and I'm going to stick with my family, or shall I say my pride, and I'm also going White Lion. So White Lion will advance to the next round. Our next matchup is, this is the toughest one yet. Y'all get ready. Toughest one yet.
All right.
Skid Row versus Cinderella.
Oof.
Oh man,
That's
you didn't have to put them together.
That's a tough matchup, dude. Tough matchup.
I'm gonna go Skid Row. I love Cinderella. I mean, that guy is so talented. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
And we went to a Poison and Warrant concert in Nashville, and just so happened he was in town, and him and I guess producer or whatever, asked him to come out, and the guy come out for like 20 minutes with an acoustic and stole the show. Him by himself. That guy is incredible. But I'm gonna have to go Skid Row.
All right, Giancarlos.
Well, I think I told you about 2 years ago, I saw Sebastian Bach here in Orlando. He's got a great voice. He can still sing. I named my son after him. Well, not really, but I'm going to go with Skid Row as well.
So Skid Row's got 2 votes. They're going to advance no matter what I vote. It's also a really close vote for me, and I would go Skid Row as well. But since both of you did, I'm going to show Cinderella some respect because they're a really good band, and I'm going to go Cinderella.
Absolutely.
Skid Row will advance. Our next matchup is Dangerous Toys versus Hanoi Rocks.
The what?
Dangerous Toys versus Hanoi Rocks.
I don't even remember either one of them.
I know about one.
So I'm gonna throw my vote to Cinderella. To be honest with you, I really don't remember either one of those bands.
We'll just pick the name you like the best.
Dangerous Toys.
Okay. Giancarlos?
I just know about Hanoi Rocks because I saw the Dirt, and I know that one of their members died in that car crash.
With Vince
So I'm going to go with Hanoi Rocks.
Yeah, so Vince Neil killed that member of Hanoi Rocks in a car wreck, and they said that after that, that band could never recover from that. I'm going to go Hanoi Rocks, too, just for a little sentimental there for the death of that member they had.
Yeah.
All right, our next matchup is LA Guns versus Tesla.
Ooh.
Tesla. LA Guns had a couple of good songs, but definitely Tesla.
All right, what do you say, Giancarlos?
LA Guns, I like Ballad of Jane. Tesla, I saw them in concert. I'm going to go also with Tesla.
All right, so we get 2 for Tesla. That means they will advance no matter what. But with me, I'm going to make it a clean sweep, and I'm also going Tesla.